Hello, my Leo friends. How's everyone doing today? Even if today is not today, it can be whenever. It can be 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years from now, right? Time is fluid, it's an illusion. It works totally differently than what we perceive as, in our human forms. So, this reading, even if it's not for today, it might pop up in 72 days. And it's just perfect. It's exactly what you needed to hear. I don't know. Or it could be great for today. Whatever suits your fancy, whenever you are drawn to it, is likely when it's right for you. Or not. Maybe you just need to be led to that 5th cat video down, right? I don't know. Whatever it is, you'll know. That one popped. Okay. Oh, yeah. So these readings won't be for everyone. It's pretty much impossible. I don't like to say impossible, but it's kind of impossible because, if you just imagine how many Leos there are in the world, and then you add on sun, moon, rising, even though sun is already what we talked about, sun, moon, rising, Venus, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of people in this world. So these messages can't relate to everyone. Take what is for you, leave the rest, don't stretch things to fit, blah, 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 right? I know you guys have heard this stuff a million times, but I still like to go over it in case there's someone that hasn't. Because, that one time that I don't say it, someone's going to take things a little too personally. And I don't take things personally. Like, if you're just not vibing with me, if I am the problem with this reading in your eyes, feel free to move on, my friend. There are so many other readers in this world, and, why? Why? Okay. This first deck that I'm using is just a normal playing card deck. And, oh, you got a lot of cards out here. I'm just using them until I get my tarot cards. I was going to wait, and Spirit was like, nah, just get going. There's people that need to hear these messages. Okay. All right. So, you ready to get started? I know I am. This first card you have is the 7 of Wands in reverse. That is my little marking up in the corner for reversals. So a lot of times reversals I read as blocks. So let's see. 7 of Wands. It's like a change in something that you've been doing, from what I can see. Like, I don't know if you stopped doing something, maybe like a hobby, or you stopped doing something because it was seasonal and you're really missing it, and you haven't really picked something else up to like take its place. You've just kind of been sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, watching the TV or whatever, or a whole ton of YouTube, right? But whatever it is, it's something that you haven't been doing, and it's got you down. So you're needing to reconnect with it. I don't know if it's like a seasonal thing that you need to figure out something else that's going to bring you joy, or just an old hobby that you need to get back into, right? Like maybe you just, you got so busy with adulthood that you kind of forgot about having fun, or you forgot about dreaming and wishing and things like that. You're just kind of complacent with where you've been, and you stopped. So I'm hearing that you just need to reconnect with all of that kind of stuff, whatever part of it resonates with you. If you used to really dream big, and maybe you had a rough go on something, and you were like, that's it, I'm pulling myself out of that. I'm not going to allow myself to go into these crazy things ever again. Maybe it's time to do that again. I don't know. But some part of you that you used to be really active about, that you had put on the back burner for one reason or another, okay? Come back into that. The next one we have also in reverse is 5 of Pentacles. So with the 5 of Pentacles, gosh, I'm getting more of the same thing, but here it's got an impact that might be from, your finances. Maybe that's the reason that you had to pull out on it. Like if you were really into boating or something, and you came into some hard times last year, and you had to sell it off, right? Like that can be heartbreaking. So I don't know, whatever it looks like now as far as your financial situation is concerned, if you can get back into that, or just find something that fits your current financial situation, okay? Because a five, it's not particularly strong when you're looking at finances. And pentacles can be other things. It can be the material world. So yeah, it could be a boat, it could be a house, it could be whatever, right? But I am feeling that there's a financial stress involved in whatever's going on. Okay, so that's something that you're needing to work on. You're needing to address, um, however that may look for you. Whether that is, maybe taking a change in career, or whatever it is. I'm not here to write your story. I'm just here to put up some possibilities for you. Okay. Um, let's move on. The next block that I'm seeing is the Nine of Cups. So this has to do with emotion, right? A Nine of Cups, I mean, it's like you're right there, your wishes are coming true, everything's going really well, you're really balanced within your emotions and your feelings and all of that, and you know, this is telling me you're not balanced within there. You need to do some work to align your feelings and your emotions with, you know, bring it back into alignment with your intuition and your logical mind. Maybe you've been coming at it from your logical mind for way too long, and that has negatively impacted the overall situation. Okay, take it as you will. That's just what I'm feeling, and you could resonate with some of these things, one of these things, none of these things, all of them. I don't know. I don't know your story. Unless this is a personal reading, there's no way I'm going to know your exact story or pick up on your exact energy. It's very unlikely, right? So take the parts that fit you. Hear what you're needing to hear. Okay. We have a Joker, and I just read this for another sign, and it was funny because I hadn't had any Jokers prior to that reading, which was like probably an hour ago, right? So a little bit different. The way that I see this is the Fool, and it is in the upright, so it's not a block. It's not negative. I'm not getting it in a bad way. It's but it's a surprise. It's a maybe a surprising new start, right? The beginning of something. And I feel like that's on the horizon. You could already be stepping into it, but I'm feeling like it's coming in. And just as a word of caution, like there are a lot of blocks here. So make sure that you're actively working on these things so that you can really fully embrace this newness that's coming toward you, okay? Again, you could already be experiencing it. But if you don't clear up these blocks, it might not really come into full fruition. It might kind of just give you a glimpse and then go away. So whatever that newness is, it could be anywhere in your life. I mean, really, I'm just getting the whole gambit here. This is for the collective, so huge. You'll know. You know your story. You will know what is meant by this more so than I will, okay? So I'm not going to dive into details on that. The next one is another block. We got the Queen of Swords. So the Queen, this is a person, whether it's you or someone in your life. I always liken this to like the mama bear kind of thing, right? They're really protective, and they can be really intense and powerful is what I'm feeling. Okay. And this person, maybe they're a little too intense. Whether it's you or that other person. If it's another person, maybe they're just a little bit too intense for you, and you need to have a conversation with them about, like, maybe something's going on in their life, and you can be like, what's going on, buddy? Or maybe you need to have that conversation with yourself because you're just coming off a little bit too intense, too, like just a little too dialed up for what the situation calls for. Okay. And you know, the Queen of Swords, it's, I don't see it as a bad thing. Even in the reverse, it's not like, you know, it's not like you're this big bad person or anything. You're coming from a loving heart, male or female. Again, like, you know, gender is as fluid as time. Okay, in these cards, it's not about the gender. If anything, if you want to look at it that way, it's the male or female energy, and we all have both inside of us. So, you know, it could be that you've been blocking your feminine side, your feminine flow. You know, if you need to dive into that realm, Tony Robbins has some really great work on that, and some really great guidance there. So maybe check out some of his podcasts, or, you know, whatever. He has a lot of different content out there. So go check that out maybe. Um, but I'm feeling that this person is just very intense, very protective, and maybe unnecessarily so. So if it's you, that's something to be cautious about, and to work on. If it's another person, you know, maybe you're in their path so that you can help with that. You know, maybe bring it to light, because they probably don't know that they're doing it. Okay. And if you don't feel comfortable, just know that that's who they are. Okay. Be aware. Um, Take all of that as it is. The next one, not in reverse, how exciting. You have Two of Cups. So this is like, it's like a new beginning in a relationship, and we already kind of had a new beginning, right? So it might just be a nod at this right here, where, you know, you have this new, I am feeling like it's a new person. It doesn't have to be. You could already be involved or already know this person. But you know, if you're already involved with them, it's like you're taking it to a new level. Um, you're going deeper. You know, maybe you're moving in together or something. But it's new in the way that, like, you guys haven't experienced each other like this before. Okay, and it could be this person that you're with. So, you know, if that's the case, maybe this is telling you, like, you know, if you want this new beginning with this person, you have to know up front that this is who they are, and that's who you're in for if you're deciding to go that route. Okay, because that can be tough to deal with sometimes, right? You have to know up front that's who they are. You can never go into something thinking that you can change someone, right? So just know that. But here nor there, new beginnings in love specifically. I'm not feeling it as a platonic thing. I'm feeling it as love. Okay. And the final one, Four of Cups in reverse. So Four of Cups, you know, you're still in the emotional realm. It could be, you know, within that love sphere. But what I'm seeing here, and I always go back to the normal tarot deck, because it often resonates so loudly within these messages. The Four of Cups, you know, there's this guy sitting, he's like kind of leaning against a tree, and he's looking down at these three cups in front of him that have spilled over, and like, he's just so bummed out, and he's so focused on these things that didn't go well. But what he doesn't see is that there's another cup, like right here, and it's just being offered down by the heavens. And all he has to do is like kind of turn a little bit, and oh my gosh, there it is, right? But he's so focused down here on the bad things that he completely misses this new cup, this full, beautiful cup, right? So this could just be a simple word of caution that, like, you know, you got this craziness. There's a lot that's in the reversals here, a lot of different blocks and things like that. So if you're so focused on the negativity of those blocks and those perceivedly bad things, you're going to miss this cup. And I do feel like the cup is this new love opportunity. Okay, you don't want to miss out on that. That could be the greatest thing that ever happens to you, right? So yeah, work on the blocks, but don't get bogged down by them. Don't let the negativity from those things swallow you, is what I'm hearing. Okay, make sure that you stay open for that fourth cup. Because if not, those other three cups, that's going to be that reversal, that block there. Okay. So again, take that part as you will. May or may not resonate with all of you guys. The main message here tends to resonate with more people. just because that's how it's geared, right? This next part is about guidance directly from the divine or the spirit or the collective, however you want to look at these things, from the energy, like whatever, from our angel guides, right? Whatever you believe in, it's guidance from higher powers, okay? And it's just trying to help us navigate through all of the craziness that's in our lives, whether it's this stuff or not, okay? All right. And I often look for 3 of these cards, especially with so many cards down. Sometimes it's nice to have, you know, a few different messages come out so that you can, you know, either multiple people that were just going through bits and pieces of this stuff can have kind of somewhere to turn, or, you know, sometimes we do just need that many cards to tell us, like, this is what's going on. This is what you need to be doing, you know. Okay. And nothing is popping yet. Are you guys all closed up? Okay. Let's see. We got 2 cards up so far. Let's see if there's one more. All right. I'm going to shuffle one more time through, see if we can get that 3rd card. If not, these are a couple of pretty strong cards, so we'll go with that if we have to, okay? There we go. Lucky number 3. Yes. Okay. So we'll put that back. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we have 2 queens, and then we have 2 different cards of Michael. And Michael in this deck relates with swords. So we did have some swords out. It could just be, you know, that reinforcement that, you know, there's some communication that needs to happen. Okay. Let's get into the actual cards. The first one is the Queen of Ariel. So Ariel is about pentacles. We did have 1 card of pentacles up in the first read, so it might tie together, might not. The card, you know, it gives these characteristics of the people that portray them. So again, male, female, it doesn't really matter. Could be you, it could be someone else. I'm not going to limit that. I'm not really getting like a solid you or someone else, okay? Could be either way. As a person, it says that this person is mature, practical, generous, and happy. Okay? The card itself says, nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. Okay? The next one is the 8 of Michael. And it says, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Yeah, like, there's a lot of blocks up there, and when that happens, it often does mean that, you know, maybe we're not seeing our lives clearly. Maybe we need to take a step back for a minute and kind of see it from like a third party's perspective. You know, imagine it as if it wasn't you. Imagine it as if it was a friend going through that situation. You know, well, what kind of advice would you give that friend? It might be drastically different than what you actually follow through with on the day-to-day, right? That doesn't mean that it's like bad advice or anything like that. It's probably something that you should be listening to. So yeah, take that step back and try to see things a little more clearly, okay? The other queen here, Queen of Michael. And as a person, this says the person is brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, and humorous. You know exactly what to do, the benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. Yeah, so, I mean, we saw this new love coming in, right? And I feel like what that's telling you is it's great that that's coming in, and it's going to be beautiful, and, you know, enjoy yourself through it. But, like, don't lose sight of everything else. When we have new relationships, a lot of times we tend to, we tend to get overly excited about that and kind of spend all of our time on it. And even when we're supposed to be doing other things, we're texting that person, or we're calling that person, or we're going out to eat with that person instead of eating and sticking to our meal plans, right? However that may resonate, don't lose yourself in the newness of this relationship is what I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah, and the other part that I'm really seeing from all of this is to take that step back, go within. When this first card talks about practical and wise advice, I feel like that's coming from within you, right? I talked about how, think about the advice that you would give to someone else and give yourself that advice and stick to it. Again, I feel like that's practical and wise advice coming from you. Maybe there is some practical advice coming from someone else, and yeah, listen to it, stay open to it. But also listen to yourself. Trust yourself. No one knows you as well as you know yourself, okay? So no one's going to be able to give you better advice than yourself. Whoever needed to hear that. There you go. All right, so for the third deck here, I like to use Sarah Prout's Dear Universe Oracle deck. It's just, I feel like simplicity is key, and it's so helpful because it gives us one thing to focus on, okay? Things happen best when you can focus on one thing, right? With all of these things going on, with all of the guidance, with, everything there, it's multifaceted. It's definitely follow through with these things and work on the things that you're needing to work on. But this kind of gives us like an overarching theme, okay? Like one thing that you can put out into the universe, that you can recite when you need to just kind of recenter yourself and refocus on what you're trying to accomplish, okay? So let's see what we get. Again, I like to just pull one of these because then you do have just that solid focus. If you're still hanging in there, tell me how you're doing. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what resonated in there with you. I always find these to be such interesting stories, and like I wish that I could hear more of the backstories and hear more to piece it together, because I'm not privy to the details. I'm just a messenger on what they tell me to say. All right, so this one that we got here, okay, that's all done. It says, Dear Universe, surround me with inspiration to draw the freedom of prosperity into my life. Yes. I'll hold that up for you in case you want to read it yourself. And let's read it one more time just to get it stuck in there for you, okay? Dear Universe, surround me with inspiration to draw the freedom of prosperity into my life. So be it, so it is. Yes. What a beautiful way to end this reading. Again, if you really liked this, please do like, subscribe, comment, share it if you know someone that might benefit from hearing it. There are personal readings available if you would like that. Otherwise, I think we've covered all the bases. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support through all of this, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week. Love and light to you guys.